Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Fallout series. This is episode 4 of season 1 and it is called The Ghouls. Last episode. I would basically summarise last episode as the Gulper episode. Everything centred around the Gulper really. From the moment Lucy fed the baby deer and then it ate the deer and then it taking the head. Luckily Lucy had placed a tracking device in the head earlier, so when it took the head she was able to still track its whereabouts, and then of course Cooper catches her and uses her as human bait. Pretty brutal. I know Cooper's character has changed a lot, but still an incredibly brutal tactic to lure the Gulper. So they have a confrontation with it, but once again it manages to get away. At which point Maximus and his new squire bump into it. Now we got to see a little bit of Maximus and the squire hanging out this episode, and of course Maximus is absolutely power tripping in this power armor with his squire kissing his ass, throwing him the codpiece to shine just like Knight Titus did to him. So yeah, he's loving life. But when the Gulper attacked them and started to eat the squire, Maximus saved the squire. Now, there's two ways to look at that. It's like, was he saving the dude because the guy was pandering to his ego and his aid and his little bitch, so he needed to keep that guy alive to continue to stroke his ego? Or was it genuinely just like humanity? He saw that that was a nice guy and tried to save his life for that reason. I'm unsure, man. They've got Maximus so on the fence just now. I do not know what the writers are planning to do with him. He could easily end this series as the biggest hero or the biggest villain just now. He's truly the wild card in the story. I don't imagine Cooper ever becoming a bad guy. I don't imagine Lucy ever becoming a bad guy, but Maximus is definitely being written as a is he or isn't he wild card character. And that scene once again just displayed how badass the power armor is, because he was able to pull the squire free while turning the Gulper's insides out. Literally just tore its insides out with the force of him pulling his squire free. And as a bonus bingo ball, they found the head, which I don't even think they were expecting, but yeah, that's definitely why they came there. And then the episode ended with some shit that like basically completely rewrites the Fallout lore. Well, it doesn't rewrite it, but it explores an element of it you didn't know about and then intrinsically ties Cooper directly into its foundational lore, which is so fucking cool of them to do that with one of the characters from the TV series in a way that isn't heavy-handed and feels organic and believable. You know, he was a famous TV actor at the time. Vault-Tec just so happened to run their first television promotional campaign, so he was cast. They based the Vault suits on his famous cowboy jacket's TV colours, hence the blue and yellow, and the poses he chose to do for the initial advertising campaign were the ones that were later turned into the bobbleheads, and that is just a crazy and clever way to tie him into the base lore of Vault-Tec and thus the Fallout universe. And like I said last episode, I predict that explains why he was the way he was when we saw him in the very opening scene of episode 1. He'd fallen on hard times, doing rodeos and birthday parties for alimony payments, and I feel like when you think about it, it's alimony as well. And he's getting on so well with his wife just now in the flashbacks. I, as a player of the games, assume that Vault-Tec caused this downfall. It could be something else, maybe I'm way off, but it just seems like he was a pretty successful dude and then he's done these Vault-Tec adverts, and because Vault-Tec is so fucked up and shady as a company, he's been blackballed or something. That's the way they've shown it thus far. There may be like a link in the story we're not getting to see yet where some other thing goes down, but my prediction is it's just because Vault-Tec is such a shady company they ruined his career as an actor. Regardless, I cannot wait to watch this episode, and one thing I'll say about this episode, it's called The Ghouls, plural, and the plural can only really be one of two things, or maybe one of three things. So let's go through the three things it could only ever be when it's plural. It could be just exploring how ghouls come to be, you know, how did the ghouls come to be? What is it that turns someone into a ghoul? Exploring the differences between feral ones and ones that are still human but with the appearance of a feral ghoul, etc. It could just be a topic header that people discuss or we learn more about in this episode. The other thing it could be see is we encounter a settlement or something like that, which is predominantly ghouls, you know, predominantly made up of Coopers, because as we have seen, they're not welcoming a lot of the places here, like Philly, the main city we have seen thus far. Ghouls are not welcome there, so perhaps we come across some settlement of peaceful ghouls, but because they're outcasted, they're just doing their own thing, and they're probably wary of outsiders, if anything. And we all know what option 3 is. They encounter a pack of feral ghouls, which would be absolutely epic. And also, if that happens this episode, I would say that even though there's some shit going on in the background each episode, it's starting to take the structural tone of The Mandalorian or a Kung Fu. And that, you know, so far we've had a Yao Guai, and then we've had a Gulper, and then if it's a pack of feral ghouls this episode, it's just like, you know, each episode is an adventure focusing on a thing. It very much would remind me of how The Mandalorian structures itself, or older shows like Kung Fu structured itself. And some people that are accustomed to modern drama won't like that. They would much rather the plot was furthered at all times, and, you know, what we would call side quests aren't done with episodes. But me personally, if it is done well, I will love it. I absolutely love The Mandalorian, so I don't mind we had a Yao Guai episode and then a Gulper episode. And yeah, the only thing left to find out is which kind of ghouls we're gonna get. So without further ado, this is episode 4 of season 1 of Fallout, The Ghouls. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Volty.
Still couldn't tell you what that fucking drug is. I've been playing Fallout 4 this week and looking through the drugs I collect. I don't like sell my drugs. I have a little box next to my chemistry station in my house at the home plate in Diamond City. If you know, you know. And I just every now and again put them all back into my inventory and make all the different drug combinations I can for the XP, then sell the combination ones. But yeah, I've looked through them all and I have no idea what it is. Unless it's just like a retconned jet capsule, but in the game they don't look like that. They're not nice and shiny.
Wasteland's got its own golden rule. Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time. Again,
such a hilarious line just for the players of the games, because you always have a really legitimately serious main quest to do. And no matter what direction you wander in, you will encounter a location or a human being that will make you do something completely off track.
Let's go sunning, it's so good for you, let's go sunning.
Nice, didn't think we'd start the episode with a clumsy rad roach, but I really like the choice.
Creative, learn to live and play, pretty flowers.
What's great about Cooper's character as well, not to say that that style wasn't used before New Vegas, because his outfit is kind of resemblant of the sheriff at Megaton in Fallout 3 for example, but you know, New Vegas really went all in on the sort of western aesthetic mixed with the apocalypse, and he to me is the representation of that in this show. He's the gunslinger. But I like that his trench coat is also tattered at the bottom. It's such a cool look. That sounds like a feral ghoul. Yeah, these are definitely feral ghouls. I know that noise off by heart. I can actually do an impression of a feral ghoul running up behind you in damp water and then making its feral ghoul noise. You ready? I remember hearing that behind me so many times. Damn, is this guy mid-transformation from a normal ghoul into a feral?
You turn it. Maybe.
Oh man, that's actually so fucking sad seeing someone turn like this. I don't think they've ever done this in a Fallout game, at least not like this.
One little puff, and I'll be back on my feet. You know I'm good for it.
I'm sorry, Roger, I'm all out.
And Cooper isn't being cruel here, he's just probably seen this a billion times before. I love the way they're doing this, because usually in zombie films you don't get like someone flipping between the two. You know, 1 second they've got the wound and they're like, I'm fine, and then it'll usually cut away from them for 30 seconds so you stop thinking about them, and then, you know, you get a jump scare and they're on someone's neck. But watching this guy toil with a feral disease slowly taking over his brain is so much more powerful. You instantly feel so sorry for him.
You know, my mom used to...
Nicest thing he could have done for him. Distracted him, he didn't even see it coming, killed him instantly. Can't ask for more than that. The guy was gone. Well, you are definitely wrong in this situation, Lucy. You have no idea what you were about to see.
What'd you say your name was?
Lucy McLean.
McLean.
Don't tell me he knows her dad. Or is her family lineage in some way tied into Vault-Tec, maybe? He's got the cannibal perk. Raw ghoul meat must taste like absolute shit.
My dad still refused to do anything like this.
That's what people say they did, and what they really did.
I'm sure her dad wasn't eating human corpses, Cooper, but I am not judging you. You know, it's an apocalypse, you need to eat. I don't choose the cannibal perk, but it's more because I think, man, that meat probably tastes like shit. Rather have a nice Deathclaw steak, Rad Scorpion steak, Brahmin steak. That's the good shit right there.
Now, come on, Vaulty. Ass jerky don't make itself.
Ass jerky, that sounds fucking disgusting. And as I said last episode though, this is actually perfect when you think about it, because Cooper, we know, is a non-evil character. Lucy, we know, is a naive character who is going to learn how fucked up this world is one way or the other by introducing her to the fucked upness of it. Through a safe character, she's both getting hardened while actually not being in any real danger. It's perfect when you think about it, because she could have not bumped into Cooper. She could have stumbled into a raider gang, been enslaved, tortured, beaten, etc. But no, this guy's showing her the world's fucked up, but deep down we know he ain't gonna kill her or nothing.
Nice work on your posters.
Well, thanks, Reg. I've been admiring yours as well.
So they're the people behind designing the posters. Makes sense.
200 years with no contact. The terrible things this creature must have been through.
Don't dehumanize the raider like that. He's a human, an evil human man.
We better trank him again.
For his own safety.
We'll try again tomorrow.
These guys better hope they never leave the vault. They will be on a skew above a fire before dusk.
Made pie, if you'd like a piece.
You know who this actress is reminding me of, and it might just be completely different, but it's the haircut and the shit. But you know the woman that's the blind lady in Deadpool? That's not the same actress, is it?
You came here to talk to me about what I said at the assembly. It upset people. You don't like it when people get upset.
My prediction is still him and Eye Patch Lady fuck up the old council and take over this vault.
During the raid, I got in a storage space and I hid. Does that make you angry?
I mean, to be honest, man, different humans are built for different purposes. I wish bravery was a trait shared amongst all good people, but unfortunately it's not. Some people are like really good, but they're also just really scared of things. And this guy looks like a smaller, skinnier guy who hasn't excelled in the same combat stuff down here that Lucy did. You know, I'm not saying he shouldn't have helped. He should have. He should have fought for his life. But at the same time, I can tell it's not his station in life to be a brave, formidable dude. I'm assuming that's the ass meat then. Lucy did a good job for her first ass carving. Proud of you, Lucy. I bet her Disney eyes were wide while she was doing that shit. Oh, gross, man.
You get me.
Having to drink irradiated water like that is fucking disgusting. I hope Cooper's got a little Radaway to hook her up after she ingests this. I get he's trying to toughen her up, but sometimes it seems like he's getting a little bit of a sadistic enjoyment out of treating her like shit. But then these smirks could just be like his amusement at her naivety as well. Well, that's a good time to try and run away. I think she is safer with the guy who can blow chest holes with his pistol, but if she wants to risk it... Ah well, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, you got hogtied. Ah, shit!
There you are.
Didn't even scream in pain, just like nice, she's toughened up a little bit. Oh my fucking god.
That right there is the closest thing we've had to an honest exchange so far.
The brutality of this show is actually quite crazy. That's them buddies for life now, I guess. That's madness. I wasn't expecting it to just straight up shear her finger off with a machete.
Hey.
I'd just stop by and see how you're doing.
I want to see how you're doing. I mean, the fact you walked away from that fight with the bride is impressive enough.
Bert's things, and, well, I thought maybe you might want some of them.
That's nice of her to do this for Lucy's cousin. I would like to see these two hook up and become friends.
He took great care of his shoes.
We'll be putting that shit on the gravestone then.
Talking about shoe maintenance, and he'd just carry on until everyone left the room.
Charisma 1.
I'll try to wear them.
Oh, good. And this.
They look tiny. You can't make him put his feet in them like some 16th century Chinese woman. So this lady lost her husband in the raider attack. She's obviously feeling a little bit lonely. But this completely derails my whole theory, because I thought she was going to get into a romantic relationship with Lucy's brother, not Lucy's cousin. And her and Lucy's brother were going to take over this vault, so maybe this is going to go completely different than what I thought. Oh my god! This show is going to places that I just was not expecting. Like, you know, Cooper casually cutting off Lucy's finger, Lucy getting the shit beat out of her, episode 1 and shanked, and then we've got a guy fingering a mourning widow at the exact moment her water breaks, while she was trying to dress him up like her dead husband who had been murdered days prior. You know, a usual Tuesday.
You're selling me?
Best you try your luck behind that door.
Fuck this. Also, you know, usually I'd be like, holy shit, it's a super duper mark, because I saw the sign in the background, but fucking hell, Cooper. Wasn't expecting him to do this. I don't like this shit. I hope he feels guilty and comes back for her. And also, I'm worried as to who he's selling her to. It sounded like a robot on the intercom, but are these raiders or what? So that's officially the first thing Cooper's done that I can't logicize in any way. Like, that just makes me dislike him a little bit. He's obviously a flawed character. I mean, he just sold Cinderella into slavery.
Right outside.
I say you've lost a finger. Let's get you taken care of. Follow me.
What the fuck? Is it gonna heal her finger? I mean, if he says he's gonna fix her finger, fair play, go along with him. I would too. I'd be like, okay, it can't get any worse than no finger. What's he got in store for me? Let's see.
I have to use a thumb. Our finger infantry's in a sorry state.
How the fuck are these even not decomposed? That suggests that all those fingers were quite recently removed.
That's much better, isn't it?
To be fair, that's pretty incredible.
I mean, I thought I was here to be a sex slave.
What? No! What a disgusting idea!
This seems like it's going to be really nice and then end horribly. Fatten up the animals before Christmas vibes.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
There we go. That's even more fucked up. So Cooper's selling her to a medic droid just to take her shit. What was the point in giving her a finger back? One of these days he's gonna pull a Glock out of that jelly. We all know it.
I don't know what the people of Vault 32 were up to, but it was anything but innocent.
What does he mean by that? This Vault story is continuing to get way more interesting than I first thought it was gonna be. I'd love to see a little reconnaissance mission into Vault 32 to find out exactly what he's talking about. And this doesn't surprise me, because 99% of Vault Tech vaults, even the ones that seem like genuine normal habitat spaces, are secret experiments in one way or the fucking another. I wouldn't be shocked to find out this is of a similar vein.
Norm. Hi.
Bit of a mood killer, that. Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye would be regarded as way less of a classic if after the first 25 seconds the music just dipped and then an infant started screaming. But experimentally, that would have also been genius.
Wrong.
Is he going into Vault 32 by a different entrance? Oh, the decayed crops again. So here's the thing I was thinking about last episode, by the way. It's either a plot hole or something we haven't seen, because yes, the Raiders entered Vault 33 through Vault 32, but Vault 32 shouldn't have opened their door. So if they've opened their door, it's because they fucked up their crops and had to go out to look for food. But the fact they did that before they even communicated that with their neighbouring vaults, again, seems like a plot hole. So how the fuck did the Raiders get into Vault 32 if they'd never opened their door? They must have opened the door from the inside for the Raiders. Man, even that fucking steel case is in the game, I swear. Well, yeah, that definitely shows fighting, but is this remnants of the Raiders attacking them, or them fighting amongst themselves?
2 years ago.
Wow, so that was what was happening before the Raiders even got there. Shit, maybe they just walked into an open door. Maybe there was so much chaos, some people tried to escape. Guy took his own life. The plot thickens, like seriously, what is the mystery to Vault 32 now? And why, if Vault 33 knew they were deteriorating to such an extent? Oh my god, what a shot. Completely knocked off my train of thought there just seeing that shot. But yeah, why didn't they communicate with Vault 33 that their crops were going bad? Or, you know, surely the whole point of these interconnected vaults was that they helped one another if something went wrong in one of them.
I mean, it looks like they strangled each other with their hands.
Well, yeah, that definitely was someone who died by someone else strangling him. What caused the infighting though? Did they split into factions, or did something make them go crazy? Fuck. Okay, maybe the people in Vault 32 found out really what the vault was about and attacked the council or something like that. That storyline's got me so intrigued, I'm not gonna lie, because these vault mysteries are always so interesting. There's always some fucked up shit going on. Jesus Christ, Vault Tech, can you make one fucking vault that actually does what it's supposed to do?
Martha. Where's Martha?
Oh my god, this is so dark. And what organs did he harvest from her? At least she's survived, but like, what has he taken out of her?
We can do 60.
Fantastic.
Oh, do her now so she's ready for the next pickup.
And it kinda makes it more understandable because these guys trade in those vials that are keeping Cooper from stopping turning feral, so he is saving his life selling her into slavery like this, but it's still fucked up.
Let's get on with it, shall we? We don't want to keep your associate waiting.
Oh, thank God he hasn't harvested the organs yet. There's still a chance something else happens.
All be over. Hold still now.
That's always been a great visual gag on the medic robots in Fallout. They've always got the crudest tools attached to them when they claim to be medic droids. I'm pleased they kept that joke. Shit. I don't know what organ he was planning on harvesting with that fucking shot. It looked like he was trying to saw a head in half. Not exactly the most efficient organ harvester.
There's no fudge here.
She's resourceful as our Lucy. She is not a damsel in distress. She's a damsel, but everyone else around her seems to be the ones in distress. I mean, this episode already, she has electrocuted a robot to death and bitten off a ghoul's finger. She is feral, no ghoul needed.
Hands up! Do as I say and Snip Snip doesn't get hurt.
Terrible strategy.
It's a fucking robot.
They definitely put it in better words than me there, but I was trying to get across the same feeling. Cooper sent her in there to be sold and have her organs harvested, and she came out of here as the freer of slaves. She's like the nearest Targaryen in Essos. Uh-oh, has she just released feral ghouls? Yes, she has. I'm so happy they haven't done it with CGI. So much better with humans. Fuck. Fair play to those guys for standing their ground and trying.
Goodbye.
Oh shit! That dude was actually a gangster till the end. For a slaver, I respect his tenacity.
My name is Martha.
Oh man. That's fucking heartbreaking. We're getting the final remnants of her as a human.
My name is Martha.
That's right. Your name is Martha.
Ah, fuck. And they're obviously doing this so she sees why Cooper did what he did. She's gonna do the wrong thing and let this woman turn in front of her. And she's gonna have to shoot her herself. Holy shit. That was a quick shot.
Could I help you have a better day?
No, thank you.
Gotta love robots, man. They're so selfless to the end. I mean, he did want to harvest her organs, but he also tried to make her day better. So, you know, 50-50 ain't bad in this world. Holy shit. This is a dark storyline. So we've had ones hanging themselves, we've had ones strangling one another with their bare hands, we had someone else taking their own life with, you know, the fork in the toaster, someone else speared. It seems to me that it's like either two factions have went to war against one another, or it's literal like some sort of insanity thing.
They went bananas.
It still doesn't explain how the Raiders got in.
Yeah, at least he's asking the right questions. How did the Raiders breach the vault door? Death to management. So from what I can see now, it wasn't like an insanity thing, it was literally perhaps the lower members of the vault cracked into some computers, found some information about what this vault was actually about and just rebelled against the council.
They need a pit boy to open the door.
They had one.
Whose?
My mom's.
Which one even is his mum? Wasn't she dead? Yes, now she's looking more wastelandy. Let's fucking go. It's a tough one. He did sell you into slavery, but he also did do it just to try and save his own life.
I'll never be like you.
I hope she sticks to that. I hope she never fully loses her humanity. I hope throughout all of this she maintains being a good person. It is possible. Yes, you have to adapt to survive, but doing what you gotta do and changing who you are to do it are two completely different things. And you know, now I know that she is safe of slavery, it's cool to see the Super Duper Mart. Hello. And what a crazy shot that is. Oh, Cooper's gonna fucking love this. He's gonna find about 1 billion vials of this shit. This is like a jackpot. Lucy doesn't realise she has left so many good valuable things here. She could have took this shit back to Philly and became a billionaire.
You shouldn't me.
That'll be him not a ghoul for, you know, a good couple years maybe. Definitely displaying visible signs of chem addiction. As a base of operations as well, this ain't a bad spot. Now he's got all them vials, does Cooper really have more motivation to continue to track down the head? Has he found one of the old shows he used to star in? Yeah, I thought he had. I love that the VHS player is called the Radiation King. I love that it's slightly different from a VHS tape as well, you know, it's its own little design technology, which is primitive but still different, and that's an interesting thing to do, to clearly set the technology of an era and a time, but invent your own technology within that time and era.
I hope you like the taste of lead, you commie son of a bitch.
Damn, it was a bit of a adult-orientated show for the era that it was. Black and white, saying son of a bitch and shooting people through the head. Okay, and that was episode 4 of season 1 of Fallout: The Ghouls, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, The Ghouls, what did I think of that? I'd say this is easily my favourite episode so far, and I feel like the show is really building momentum now. This is the first episode where we literally got zero of Maximus's storyline. We were all on Lucy and Cooper and the plot within the vault, and even though we didn't get to see any more of Maximus, which I would have liked to have seen, and it was a shorter episode, you know, it was like 49 minutes, we could have had another 10 minutes and had 2 5-minute Maximus scenes, so I don't know why they didn't want to do that, but but I guess we'll catch up with Maximus next episode. But yeah, aside from that, the two storylines we did get to see were Lucy and Cooper, and then inside Vault 33 were both brilliant. They completely held my attention for the runtime, and I really want to see what happens next, especially with a Vault 33 storyline. That shit has just got incredibly interesting. And yeah, again, this episode's just one of those episodes that A, shows you what Bethesda does wrong sometimes, and B, reminds you this is not a video game. Watching Cooper slowly slice off Lucy's finger and her bite his finger off, and then later on all the people hanging in the vault and the guy fingering that woman whose water then breaks. These are all really adult things that the games just genuinely, sometimes you feel like, don't have the balls anymore to explore on that level. So yeah, Lucy and Cooper's arc was a mad one because it was the first moment where I really sort of disliked an action by Cooper. You know, in the Fallout games, if you do something your companion doesn't like, it would have came up on the screen they don't like it. Well, when Cooper sold Lucy to the super duper mart robot slaver, BA disliked that. She is a Disney princess, leave her and her beautiful wide eyes alone, would have came up on the bottom of the screen. But yeah, Lucy is incredibly resourceful, and I really like how they're portraying it as well. She's not Superman by any stretch of the imagination. She's just a person that when cornered or put in a pinch will try and do something and figure out something to save her own life, and thus far she's been successful. And this place was fucked up, you know, people in fridges repurposed as cages to keep their stock in, selling humans, harvesting organs, selling and trading seemingly in drugs as well. It's just an absolute miserable place. So luckily she manages to dodge the medic Mr. Handy's saw and free herself, and then electrocute it with the defibrillator. And it's a hard one to pronounce, by the way, but I think I'm getting it right. Look that shit up. And yeah, what a twist though, that some of the stock had turned feral. So when she was, you know, freeing the slaves on some let my people go shit, you know, that again was a wake-up call to her. Earlier she had seen Cooper seemingly just execute a dude who was turning feral and didn't understand it and perceived it as a murderous act. Later on she learned firsthand exactly why he did that, because she tried to show sympathy to that woman who was in the process of turning, and yeah, had to wait until she was lunged at before shooting her. So Lucy now knows exactly why Cooper did that, and also it de-alleviated my hatred of Cooper, knowing that these guys were dealing in the vials, stopping him from turning him into a ghoul. I mean, he doesn't really know Lucy. It's a fucking fucked up, brutal world, and at the end of the day he has to constantly take this shit, otherwise he's gone, dead. So, you know, it's horrible what he did, but it's understandable why he did it, and I don't hate Cooper anymore, right? But regardless, Lucy walks out of there looking like an absolute badass, getting some weird necrosis finger attached, which I don't understand why. If they were about to harvest her organs, maybe they could still keep her alive after doing organ harvesting, I've no idea, but she got a new finger anyway, so she's cool. It's Cooper that's fucked. But yeah, she comes out of there, and this is like her transformation beginning, you know, the vault suit is half on, she's now got a little bit of leather armour, a little shoulder piece and shit, she's starting to look like a wastelander slowly. And I like the speech she gave Cooper. I hope she sticks to that, like I was saying during the episode, and genuinely never becomes evil. And it was also cool of her to give him the vials he needed to get back to his feet, and then he walked into an absolute jackpot at the end of the episode. Didn't realise he was a raving drug lunatic because he took a bunch of other shit before he even found the vials which keep him human. But yeah, he had an absolute party, and then got to sit back and watch one of his best performances, man. I mean, that was a good speech and headshot. I can see why he was a popular television star at the time. Everyone else was talking about apple pie and white picket fences, and he's headshotting people like John Wick and calling them son of a bitches post-mortem. And this Vault 32 shit, at first when we saw them exploring and investigating it, you're like, okay, something's went wrong with the crops. Has that caused infighting amongst the crops? My first thought. Then when we saw some of the states people were in with, you know, forks and toasters hanging, etc. There is certain vaults in the video games where things like a gas has been released which can turn you insane towards your fellow humans. So my mind started going down those paths. Perhaps it was some sort of experimentation, turning the people against one another or causing insanity. But then the small pieces of information we got with the fact that Vault 33 was in communication with Vault 32, and those files don't grant people access to them and you can't read them, and I don't know, man, there might be more to the Vault 33 Council than we are being led to believe just now. Maybe they're way more evil than we think. Hopefully Lucy's dad isn't involved in it all, but you never can tell because Vault-Tec are so shady. So by the end of the episode, even with all that insanity and finding the Overseer's body with some creepy grin on his face, it still seems to me like it's not something that has been induced upon them, and it's been more that the certain residents of Vault 32 perhaps did their own recon, snuck onto some terminals they shouldn't have snuck onto, and found out what the real purpose of Vault 32 was, which caused an uprising or something between certain members of the Vault against the higher council members of the Vault and the security and shit. So that's my guess just now, because my main thought, like I said, was how did the exterior vault door get opened? But Lucy's brother asked the exact same question, and I'm so happy he did, because to me that was a plot hole. But now I know that this show is covering all bases, and I shouldn't assume something to be a plot hole. I've done that a few times and I've been wrong both times, so next time something doesn't make sense to me, I'm going to assume it's good writing and it will be revealed to me at a later date. But yeah, so it seems like, I guess, whoever won that Vault 32 infight just opened the fucking door and left. The crops were destroyed. I don't know if the crops were destroyed so they had to leave, or the crops just never got watered after they left or something, but I guess the final members of that fight opened the door, left, and the raiders walked into what was just a destroyed vault. What I don't understand is why the raiders go into this vault, right? So they go in this vault, they see dead bodies everywhere, fucking barren, ruined crops, half of the shit's destroyed, all the rooms are in chaos. You're raiders, you're looking for supplies, you're looking to enslave motherfuckers, etc. But the main thing is, you know, surviving on your day-to-day, maintaining your power, creating bases, expanding your gang, etc. First of all, a place with a vault door of that power, and the raiders could just pick up pit boys off the dead bodies and gain access to the front door of the vault. Start to plant crops they found from outside while guarding the vault entrance for a few weeks, and once those crops start to flourish, reseal the vault door, and you've got a fucking fully functional place where you and your gang can use as a headquarters with a giant blast door protecting you all at night and shit when you come back from missions. But instead, these raiders find this shit, must have got onto the Overseer's computer or found some way to get in communication with Vault 33 and plan this elaborate thing where they're going to marry off someone just to capture a singular member of Vault 33 and take them up to the surface. That sounds like the most convoluted plan of all known time, unless Lucy's father is in some way incredibly important and those raiders knew that. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more to this plot as this season moves towards its second half, and I really can't wait to find out what's going on, because man, I love a good mystery and they're really giving us it with the Vault story. And I'll be honest, when episode 1 happened, I thought we're probably not going to see much of the Vaults from now on. You know, it set up Lucy as the Vault dweller, she left the Vault and boom, that's her in the wasteland. But to be honest, it's been a really good decision that they continuously go back to the inner workings of the Vault now that she's left, and we see this story develop. I think it's a great addition and also breaks it up, I guess, visually, because we're getting a lot of broken down buildings and this and that, and it's all decrepit and post-apocalyptic, which is brilliant, but then to juxtapose back into this fully functional, protected, clean, maintained, civilized Vault is just a really interesting way to jump between these two almost different worlds. And again, I'm so happy because not only was the show good from episode 1, but it's picking up. It's getting fucking great now, and I'm legitimately, as a Fallout fan, so happy, and I cannot wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this video around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.